And we're live. Welcome to yet another session on the Insurjo 2021 series. Folks, hope you've been having a fantastic time so far. It is the penultimate week. I know I can see the chat section going berserk. So, yeah, please feel free to keep that coming. You can see a lot of reactions coming. I can assure you today's session is going to be very, very, very interesting. Just as we get started, Adi and me have a very, very interesting pop quiz for you all, right? So, while we wait for people to come in, let me know if you can see my screen. Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen? Yeah. Awesome. Many of you all did attend this earlier as well. We made it slightly harder. Um, and we'll quickly go into the pop quiz. We do have the housekeeping and everything else to take care of. But we're on a leash this time. So keep your fastest fingers first. Quick heads up. Adi, you can see my screen, right?
Yes, we can see your screen and super excited for this. This is a startup edition quiz. So brace yourselves. Some interesting, very interesting questions. And like Swaz said, fastest fingers first. So yeah, let's roll.
Awesome. First one coming right up. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Are the eyes on the chat
Con-
section? Let me know the right one
yeah.
that's coming up for you.
So you need to connect the following companies. All of them have a similar theme in some regard. You need to connect the dots and share what the common. I see
Gosh.
some.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
I think we've
Uh,
got a right
we have
answer.
got the right answer. Yeah, yeah.
Flipkart
You're
is
correct.
close, but tell us what exactly was the funder. There is something very, very common
Very.
between these eight, and there are more, but these are eight.
Eight, yeah.
Okay, I think,
I
I
see
think,
some
yeah.
answers, yeah.
If someone got it right, and the winner is the one who answers it first. It is Harshit Gupta, is from what I can see.
Yeah,
Congrats on this. Harshit, please DM us. Your dinner is on us, right? So basically, we will be sending you across a Swiggy dinner from our side. Folks, did you guys get a hang of this? Is this harder from last time? Okay, there are lots of answers still
lots
pouring
of
in. The answer
exactly.
is, of course, the Flipkart acquisitions, right? Awesome, great work. So now I think you'll have a hang of it. We have four more questions, so do keep your hot fingers ahead. Next one's going to be slightly harder. Last time I think y'all did challenge us, told us it was too simple. So this time we made it a little harder, but I think you're still able to crack it really, really fast. Adi, next one,
Next one, let's go. The first one gets a Swiggy dinner from our side. So
done.
brace
Okay,
yourselves.
coming up on your screen in 3, 2, 1, go. The term X predates web and UI design. X was and is still used in manufacturing to depict the design of the product without the need for detail, leaving the drawing looking like it's made out of wires. What is X? Okay, I think I do see a couple of answers.
Couple of answers, yeah.
Okay, there's a lot
This
of
was
answers. This
an
one was very simple.
being PMs, yeah, being PMs. If someone's getting this wrong, then
Yeah.
then you need to watch all the sessions right from the beginning again.
Who was the first one? I see an answer. I think
I
on my
see,
screen, I see Abhinav who answered it ahead of the others.
yeah,
Abhinav, if you can
Abhinav.
DM us on Slack, DM Tanmay on Slack, Tanmay Lodha, and your dinner is on us. Right. So, folks, I hope now you've got a hang of it. We have three more.
Right.
We'll be going through this faster. Of course, this is just an icebreaker, but pretty exciting. Now, I think lots of y'all are in it, right? And folks on YouTube, please do hit the thumbs up so that a lot more people can come in. Here, everyone on Airmeet, I can see your answers. I think y'all are going berserk. Next one coming up. Adi, are you ready?
Let's go.
Awesome. 3, 2, 1. It's on your screen. Oh, see. Did I? Oh, shit. Okay, so sorry,
No
guys. I
worries.
think I have to cancel this.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, does anyone want to connect and fill the missing piece? There are two parts to the answer. Damn, so sorry.
But this was an interesting one.
Yeah.
Even when I saw it for the first time, uh, was super curious on what it is because nobody real
Yeah,
connects
actually, I didn't know
HTML
the
and
answer, so
Punjabi.
this was very
Yeah,
interesting. Even though, so for folks who haven't got it yet, yes, we will be giving out the answer. thanks to
Yes.
my slippy fingers. But the connection between the companies is exactly right. It is the Wadia Group, and why in the sports category is Punjab, Kings 11 Punjab, right? So
Yeah.
unfortunately, everyone answering it, this one is cancelled. Unfortunately, it will not happen again. But hope
But
you're
the
ready.
next
Yeah,
one is really good. It'll be worth it.
yeah. Okay, everyone ready now? Let's go for it. Uh, Swiggy for all. You guys can order. You guys can order. But yeah, okay. Two more. Next one coming right up. Everyone ready? Just hit the reaction button here if you're on AirMeet, and if you're on YouTube, please give us the thumbs up. Okay, awesome. I can see a lot of them. I am ready. Three, two, one, go. This one's slightly long, so hopefully it'll take
Take your
some
time
time.
to read, and this
Yeah.
is slightly a
I'm
little
not
more
reading
tougher
it
as
yet.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is getting this 3 point problem? No, that's wrong. Netflix, no.
No right answers yet. Some
Almost there, almost there. I can see
almost
some
there.
of them coming
Yeah.
through.
Awesome. Awesome. I see
Okay,
a
I
lot of
do see.
answers now.
Yeah, we saw a lot of answers. Who got the first one? Anyone? Can you guys help us in the chat section? I think this one went really fast.
I think Jayendra did,
Jendra,
but
yeah. I do say Jendra as well. Jendra, congrats on this one. I think the answer is cold start, right? That's amazing.
full
So
start.
we did
Yeah.
two startup ones. We've done two product ones. Time for you all to guess the last one. Everyone ready for the last one? The answer is indeed cold start, the cold start problem, and this was the book by Andrew Chen. Last one, please be ready. Uh, we will be coming up in. Are you ready?
Let's go. Let's go. Again, an interesting one. Something that, okay, I'll not give any hints.
No
Let's
hints,
go.
no hints. Three, two. Everyone's got to be fast. It's slightly easy. Three, two, one, go. I'm looking at the chat. Oh my god. Tell us how. Tell us how.
Ooh.
Reciprocate.
Lot of good answers.
Okay,
And
I think we made it obvious. Next time we shouldn't do this one. I think.
I
Right. Who got it first?
think Sandeep got it first.
Sandeep or Sonu? Let's do an audience poll on this. Folks, the right answer is indeed Swiggy. Uh,
Okay,
Folks,
Sonu.
who got
I
it
think
first?
Sonu.
Sandeep? Okay, a lot of people are saying Sandeep. Sandeep, if you can DM Tanmay,
I think
Loda,
Sonu.
or
It's Sonu.
okay, both of
So
you all
I
can
just checked.
DM, right?
Both
Yeah, both of you all can
of
DM
yeah,
us. DM
yeah,
Tanmay on Slack and he'll help you with this. Tanmay Loda.
yeah.
But hope
All
you
the
guys had
winners.
fun. I think
Yeah.
this is just an icebreaker, and I hope everyone's tuned in and live on the session. Do let us know your feedback. Was this harder than the last one? Was it easier than the last one? And we'll accordingly do the next few. If you did like it, it's the questions were picked up were done by a friend of ours. We will reveal his name also in the next session, or else you guys will go read up all the answers. But we will share his Twitter profile so that you can all follow him. Really, really fantastic. He writes a very, very interesting newsletter as well. So we'll share that with you all. But quickly getting started, I think we're 10 minutes into this. Um, Before I think we proceed, just like always, a huge shout out to all our partners. Amplitude and Mixpanel, like you guys know, are some of the leading analytics companies. We've already shared coupons. We've got some exclusive access to their portals. If you haven't tried it out yet, do definitely check out Slack. Happy to share those links again. Airmeet is our platform partner. Um, you've already used the tool. Some of you all have asked us for a teardown on this as well, but none of this would have been possible without them. Web Engage, in fact, again, we had a very interesting session with Ankur. Um, Probably solve most of the apps that you get push notifications from might be powered by Web Engage. Your Story, our media partner, Go Practice. Some of you all have received scholarships to their portal, so that was very interesting. Last but not the least, I think Misho. We have two very interesting sessions lined up with them as well. None of these would have been possible without our partners. So huge shout out to them. Adi, do you want to quickly
Yep.
walk them through a couple of reminders?
Absolutely. As always, a quick checklist that you definitely must complete before we kick off this session. And you know the drill by now if you have watched all the sessions. But if you have done all of it, just react with a quick thumbs up, and we'll get to know if you have done all of this. Let's go. Let's awesome. I see a couple of
Any
thumbs up.
questions on this slide? You all can put it on the chat section. Adi or
Chat
me.
and our team. Yeah, we'll help you. Our team is also there. They'll pin all the right links. So yeah, this is something fun that's been happening the past few weeks. We started with just one city, but the community has literally covered the entire country now. We have done it in Delhi. If I'm not wrong, I'm just trying to see the pins here: Delhi, Chandigarh, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Pune, Hyderabad, Bangalore, and Chennai. If you
That's
want to be a part of these sessions, join the Insurjo Grab Chai channel on our Slack. This is really fun. I tried going to one of them, and it's super fun. So if you want to hang out with Insurjo peers, this is the way to go. Suhas, over to you for the next few announcements.
Yep, we have a very exciting launch. Many of you all know about the platform as well. We've done a bunch of beta launches, so stay tuned till the end. Today we have a nice little reveal, and in fact, we will be sharing the link with everyone who attends this live today. So do stay tuned towards the end. Special little surprise for everyone who joins in. Also, I think it will be exclusively only for the Insurjo cohort for now. So stay tuned. I think I am super excited about the mentorship platform. Many of you all who joined in yesterday on the community huddle already know about this, but we will have the reveal coming up really soon. As usual, I think huge shout out to all our winners. We have an exclusive little group going on. Some of you all are already part of it. We also have some interesting prizes for the winners, like we've been sharing earlier. Congrats to all the winners: Shruti, Pranav, Leroy, and Samyukta. Amazing set of notes you all have been doing. Um, if anyone hasn't already started, please do participate in the 10 days of Prodman challenge. We've tweaked it slightly. We need to do 6 live sessions, 3 cases, and 1 teardown. Reason being, I think the 4th case collides with the teardown, and many of you all gave us feedback that, hey, doing both of them in the same week is hard. So 6 live sessions, 3 cases, 1 teardown, right? This is the mandate for the 10 days of Prodman. If you have any questions, put it in the chat section. I'm sure some of you will be some of your peers will be able to help you out here. Last but not the least, I think time to actually kick off this session. Adi, do you want to welcome Anuj on stage now?
Absolutely, super excited for this one. So, please welcome Anuj onto the stage. He's probably one of the best product minds in the country, leading revenue and growth for Swiggy, a product we all love so much. And Anuj comes with over 2 decades worth of experience and learnings across top companies like Flipkart, Walmart, Snapdeal, and now Swiggy. Even in last year's Insurjo, Anuj's session was one of the most loved and watched ones. And Suhas and I just had a peek on what's in store for all of you. So can't wait to witness all the magic again. Anuj, the stage is yours. Please welcome.
So before I put up the slides, thank you, Team TPF, for actually not only hosting me, but actually inviting such a large group of diverse youngsters who want to get into product management, who are already into product management, and helping them build their career systematically. It's been amazing seeing your journey and the journey of some people or some product managers who have been through Insajo last year. Uh, really excited by what we can really become if we go through like the systematic journey that you guys have picked up. So thanks a lot once again for that part.
True.
Thanks everyone else who has joined in. I know it's Friday late night, 9:15 already. It's definitely not one of the times when everybody is active to learn. So huge shout out for everyone who has joined at this time. So without any further ado, I'll just share my screen, and Suhas, Aditya, you have to give me some. Basically, you have to tell me whether you can see my screen and still hear me.
We can see your screen.
Extra
We
mode.
can see a screen.
Awesome.
You can see that?
Yep.
All right. Great, folks. So introducing myself for those who don't know, my name is Anuj Rathi, and I'll be taking you through like a session which about something that we all deeply care about: building products that customers love. A brief introduction about myself: I have 17 and a half years of experience in essentially in consumer internet domain. Started with, or my product management journey started in 2010. While I've been an engineer since 2005. I was the first product manager at Flipkart. At that time, India was very different. We didn't have the mobile revolution. Internet itself was very expensive. We were still in a day and age where only few cities could even think about e-commerce and so on. So from those days, eventually worked on different kind of e-commerce and other kind of journeys with Walmart, with Snapdeal, and most recently with Swiggy. So I've been leading Swiggy since last 6 years. So what I lead now is revenue and growth. And product management is one of the functions that I lead, and I'm extremely passionate still about building products that Indians love. Truly believe Indians deserve better. But why only Indians? All customers deserve better, and that will happen only when all of us are equipped with the right tools, so that we can build products that eventually delight our customers. So that's essentially the topic, or some of the things that we'll be covering today. So simple or key takeaways. What do you expect after we've all gone through this session? How do we work backwards from desired customer beliefs? It's it's an area which we'll cover in like a little bit of depth. How do we build with the users rather than build only for them, only thinking about, if I were a user, how would that be? How do we even identify the users? Whom do we want to build for? How do we think about the new age internet users? And how do we chase the right metrics? I think that's a smaller part that we have that we'll talk about right now. Actually, while my section says building products customers love, but actually product is a smaller part than we are going to talk about, and large part is going to be about customers. And it's just such a fundamental thing that most people who are building completely forget. Like, they understand, like they've heard about it like multiple times, that you have to really step into the shoes of the customer, only then you can build for that, etc. But what does it really mean? Just how deep do you go, and how do you actually build for them, are some of the things that we'll talk about today. The reason why I'd say that is, I have built like multiple products throughout my career, and I've seen so many product managers, either within my team or otherwise, build amazing number of products. Most of these products will fail, and I have probably launched a series of flop products, and I can kind of distinguish between flop and hit products. And the biggest differentiation which we could have which I could have done much better on, is really to understand my customers in much better detail, and actually thinking ahead on what will really work for them. So we'll start with that. All right. Just know that the one part that I almost just mentioned, that most new product ideas will fail. It's impossible to predict which ideas will succeed or which will not, irrespective of how senior, how experienced you are. So there is no advantage of age, and no advantage essentially of, like, experience, etc., in terms of launching some products that will really work. But what this session is going to help you with is, how do you improve the probability of launching successful products, and definitely remove the probability of launching flop products that nobody will love. So that's something that we'll talk about. A product is really working only when you have customers at one side and you have your product at one side, and they both need to kind of come together like a magnet. When there's like real magnetism that the product has, that consumers will really love, but not all customers. Who are the right kind of customers that will love? And that's essentially called the product market fit. And the product market fit is forged, it's not discovered. And that's something that I want everybody to kind of think about deeply. Sometimes what happens, we look at a market, we look at, hey, these are the customers that I want to build for, and we build a product for them. That's one way to build products. The other one is, I'm going to build this awesome product, and we'll see who will come. And I have some hypothesis on who will come. In my opinion, in my understanding, it's not one versus the other. It's a lot of iterations between these two. You start with a customer and you imagine a product, and then as you are building it, as you are working with the customers a lot more, you will tweak, you will adjust, and so on. In some cases, you may even land up with another product that may be actually important for some other target segment altogether. So both these things happen, and that's why it's an art and a science. So not like a series of events that you follow that will definitely lead you to a product that really works. Cool. So what are we going to talk about? We are going to talk about both the market and the product. On the user side, to build actually a fantastic product, we'll talk about custom beliefs and behavior. We'll talk about how do we work backwards from future date. How do you think about personas? What are the different kind of customers? How do we focus with them? How do we build with them? On the product engine, we'll cover a little bit around that. What is it building for the new age internet user? How do you chase the right metrics which will kind of tell you that is this product really working for you or not? Right. For by the way, this is actually a deck that I had used with Sequoia Search, essentially a VC community, and with real 50 startups, not only product managers but entrepreneurs. So it was built for them. But while speaking with Suhas and the TPF team, we realized that it will be valuable even for product managers. So we have like built in some we have simplified this and built in like some content around that part. So thanks a lot for helping us putting this deck together. So that's one. Second is, some of you may have heard me in the previous Insurjo or otherwise. Some topics will be the ones that we have already talked about. Many topics are new. So bear with me if you find a topic that we have already covered. All right, so we'll get started. Beliefs and behaviors. So there are three essential parts that I want you to think about whenever you're conceiving a new product and you're thinking about, you know what, I have this fantastic new idea that I really want to build a product and want to test, and I want really a lot of customers to use it, and me to become, or me or my company to become really famous, popular, rich, and so on, because we solve for this awesome problem that the market had. These are three things that I want you to ask yourself before you even start building the product. One, what is the future that you're working towards? B, what are core beliefs your customers have around the category of products that will be there? And what are the core beliefs that your customers have? What beliefs are you going to build on top of versus what are the beliefs that you're going to shatter? Let me give like a couple of examples. For example, if you're a product manager in say 2013, 14, or say go back 2010, if you're building a Flipkart, you could basically just launch Flipkart and think about that. Hey, what do I really want to build? Let me build an e-commerce company and so on. It's not really the right way, or you can do it like that. But a better way to do that is to imagine a long-term future. Imagine a future of 10 years out, that India needs access, India needs convenience, and I want to build an e-commerce company. And the first launch that I want to do is only sell books on the internet. And then, of course, I want to do cash on delivery. And then, of course, I want to enter payments and so on, marketplace, and so on and so forth. So think about a future that you're working towards. And then break it down into milestones and think about the first milestone, meaningful milestone, and define that milestone very, very, very clearly. That's supposed to be your MVP. A lot of you would have already heard about that. I know that you have been working towards PM skills, PRDs, user research, gamification, etc. So the minimum viable product is a part of the overall vision that you will launch, that you will derive value from, and that needs to be very, very crisply defined in your mind and on paper and on product as you're building that. Second, what are the core beliefs your customers have? What do you mean by beliefs or customers? Core beliefs essentially are the ones around your category. For example, e-commerce in 2010, most people, the belief around retail was, or even around e-commerce, but there were like a few companies who were doing e-commerce. Like there's Infibeam who was doing that. There's Times Internet and a whole bunch of eBay, etc., doing it. What was a customer belief around that category? Internet is saman. If I buy things on the internet, I don't even know whether I'm buying a red phone. Will you send me a blue phone? If I'm paying 3,000 rupees, will you just take it and not give me anything? Will it be refurbished? Will it be something that is will I get a RIN bar instead of a phone, etc., etc.? So there were like so many beliefs that the customers had, and the real challenge when you're thinking about a product is if you don't understand these beliefs and you start building your product directly, it will get a low adoption, and it will not get enough usage, it will not get enough repeat rates, and so on. So first, realize what are the core beliefs that your customers have, not only about your product, but around the entire category of products or entire domain in which you're building your product from. And then think about which are the beliefs that I'm going to build on top of, versus which are the beliefs that I want to shatter if I'm building a new product. For example, Flipkart wanted to build on top of belief the internet. It is possible for you to buy stuff on the internet. Which are the beliefs that you want to shatter? You can trust us. You can absolutely buy something, and we will deliver it in time, etc. So define those beliefs, and once you have this framework ready, then you can actually start putting together your lens of what is the product that I want to build. Your product, all your product journeys of building product is essentially from an accepted customer belief to a desired customer belief. So write down what do your customers really believe today about your category, about your product. Maybe you have a product and you're building a V2 of that one. Ask users, understand them, but don't only observe them, and actually write down in very crisp, clear terms that this is accepted customer belief. What do people believe about my product and my category? And imagine a fantastic future, and that you would write down. That's a imagine future where you would write down is what do you desire, what is the best way in which I can write down that this customer should believe this about my product. And then whenever you are building a wireframe or building a product and having the discussion around, hey, we think that's a good idea, use this lens about this customer who believes about my product in this way, will my new product I'm launching lead me towards a desired customer belief or not? If not, then it's time to either iterate over your product or your idea, or change your desired customer belief to something different or something lower, and so on. But it needs to be meaningful. Without that, it's really not that big of a product building. It may be an experiment, it may be a minor improvement, it may be a feature, but it's not a product. So it's very important to realize that part, that all product journeys are about going from accepted customer belief to desired customer belief. Now, actually, I also wanted to talk about another thing here. Beliefs are long term. You really cannot change a user's belief in one or two or three interactions. Most likely you're not going to be able to do. What you can change though is behaviors, and we'll talk a little bit about behavior changing also. And there are a few examples that we'll take around that part. So just keep that in mind as we talk about beliefs and behaviors. All right, now this is one point that I want really product managers of today to think about in a lot of depth. There is a lot of excitement that product managers, especially the young ones, will have around the solution space. Hey, let me write down that PRD, let me get the designs coming, let me work with engineering and so on. I want to see this product out, and I want to see a lot of users use it. I want to look at the data, the metrics, I want to iterate and so on and so forth, without really thinking about the craftsmanship that goes behind choosing what really do we want to build. And there's one way in which I have found that you can really sharpen the product that you want to build, sustain the problem space more initially, and then move to the solution space. And how do you stay in the problem space? You need to have that kind of craftsmanship, and you need to have that imagination that what is a product and how do I really feel that this product is going to work very well in the future. So how do you think about that? Amazon, Swiggy, Apple, a whole bunch of other companies, some of the companies which are known for launching products that really work backwards from the future date and they write that down in terms of a PR FAQ. And I'll explain what a PR FAQ is. But essentially what you're trying to do is you will write down your exact vision of how specifically on a future date. For example, if you're sitting on say 7th October right now, on say May 31st next year, 7-8 months later, when I launch this product, how exactly is this product going to work? Will we be able to build it? Will we be able to take to market properly? Will my customers love it? Will it achieve the launch goals? Is it going to set up for success, and all of those things? And remember, these are the things that usually don't get covered well in PRD. So stay away from the PRD a little bit, and I'll illustrate on this example a little bit. So what do we do? We essentially write a PR FAQ. What is a PR? A PR is a press release. A press release is something that a company basically offers to the press and says, you know what, take this press release, and if you find that this is really important, you will publish it in newspapers and so on and so forth. And that's a press release, and it's usually just a one pager, because you really don't get like a lot of long document to kind of write a press release, because media will not will not pick it up. But writing that press release really helps you in crystallizing a whole bunch of things. And I want to spend like maybe 10 minutes on the PRFQ itself. So what do you do here? A press release, and here's a sample template essentially. And think about this: if you are able to complete all of these things in like one or two sentences, that's your press release. So you essentially write down what's the short name for the product that the target customers will understand. Essentially, what we are trying to test our assumptions about is, will customers be excited about this product? How will they tell this product to their friends? We have to write down a date, and then we'll basically say your company's ability to deliver this future state on a given date. You write the summary of the product. Essentially, what we are trying to write here is the ability to essentially crisply articulate to a customer in a way that sticks. We have not even yet started about the product, by the way. Then we'll describe the problem. 2 to 4 sentences describe the problem that a customer faces, which this particular product solves. So we'll talk about the pain points that you're addressing. And then we get into the solution. How are we solving the pain points? How easy it is to ramp up for your customers to take advantage of the new product or the new feature? And this is where the money shot is. You have to write a customer quote. You have to write about a future customer, a hypothetical customer, writing what do you love about the new product. Is it a mid-market? It could be a mid-market customer. It could be F50 customers, and so on and so forth. It essentially tests your assumptions about how and when you want the customers to react, and so on. Then you write an internal quote, and we have to write essentially a business owner saying, if I launch this product, then in X months we will be reaching here, and so on. Right. Let me give you an example. Actually, before going to the FAQs, I want to share like a little bit of tidbit on how we use that at Swiggy. And So Has or someone, can you basically say, is that something
Yeah.
that you can see right
We
now?
can see it perfect. Folks, if you all can view it as well, if you all want us to zoom in, do just hit. Okay, we can see lots of reactions coming. And it is
Awesome.
perfect.
Yeah.
So, for those who don't know, Swiggy is an on-demand convenience app. We do food delivery, we do grocery delivery. We have Swiggy One, which is a membership program, something that my team leads. And very recently, I think almost like 8 or 9 months back, we acquired this company called Dinout. Now, the acquisition happened, and after that, we were thinking that, hey, Dinout already is a specific different app. Swiggy is a different app. People on Swiggy don't even know whether Dinout exists. What should we do? How do we integrate these two apps, and so on? Well, some product managers started writing, you know what, I'll start writing the PRDs and we'll see how that works out, etc. We said, no, that's not how we'll do it. We'll write PR FAQs and we'll write 2 or 3 different kind of press release versions. And first we'll internally discuss what really sticks and what really works. We'll iterate on that, we'll get it right. And then we'll say that this is what we want to do. So the strategy that we chose is that first we will launch it in only one city. We will launch only for Swiggy One members exclusively. And when do we launch? And then once our launch goals are hit, then we will go and launch it for pan India. So again, this is a press release, right? And this is V3.1 because 3 or 4 press releases were already done. Then here we were sitting in January, but we essentially had a date in mind, Hyderabad, 15th August 2022. And then essentially we are announcing that, hey, we are launching, we announced the launch of Dinout on Swiggy app in Hyderabad as an exclusive Dinout benefit program for its Swiggy One members on Dinout. And then we are very specific about that. They can avail discounts up to 40% off while dining out at 600 top restaurants across the city. At launch, it would be exclusively available to Swiggy One members. Not just this one paragraph. Each line is in this paragraph is a decision, and it's something that will be debated multiple number of times. Why should it be 600 restaurants? My ops team is saying I can only get 200 restaurants. Why only Hyderabad? It could be 6 cities. Why only 15th August? My engineering team is saying, hey, we can only launch in December. What the product manager is doing, it is taking business, it is taking engineering, design, customers, everything together, creating a narrative which is the most aggressive narrative, which delivers the results in an MVP format, which will still be very successful as a pilot. And that's what he's proposing. And then we basically got down into all of those specifics. That, hey, we want to launch with the most popular restaurants. So Dinout app is contributing 80% of their transactional value. We have an ambition to scale to 1,000 by X very, very clear date. Additionally, this will be all, they will also, so you can go through like the drill, etc. Right? And now product managers usually then they will start creating narratives and very big important narratives around how this will really work, etc., etc. And then as a product leader, my job is to basically say, you have written all of these beautiful things, I want to see a précis. A précis is nothing but write the same thing in 1/3 the space. It has to be clear why users will be using it, where they can access it, etc. This is your narrative. And this again, if you can see, I'm writing, right? This in 2 lines. Wow, we are a distribution channel, reach of itna members, that, this, that, etc. How can we write like the essence of this? So, and each line in this PR FAQ is a decision. Then you can add people to and essentially say that, hey, can you actually come back with an answer and deliver this particular thing in time so that as a product manager, I am, and we all are successful for launching this particular thing. The most important thing though is, well, it already went 2 pages. It should never be 2 pages. It should be like a little smaller. We actually wrote here, for example, Kriti Rao, a 26-year-old Swiggy One user said, this is essentially where we are defining a very sharp targeted persona, female, age group, target group as Swiggy One user said, and you have to write your benefit. Why is it? What is the one benefit that a user will remember? Dinout is a pleasant member, this, that, etc. With the benefit that she remembers is that most discount upward of 20%. I can recoup my entire Swiggy One subscription of 3 months in just one outing. So that's one. Then a very different persona that we have to take, because it's going to be used by people who are already using Dinout Passport. So it was a separate app. So we are essentially talking about that person. And then who's the third persona? Because we are going to bring in restaurants. So then we are talking about what is the restaurant plan and how exactly we are going to do. Now think about this. In this simple document, we have covered a lot of decisions around product strategy, because there could be so many strategies. I could be saying that, hey, you know what, let's launch even faster in multiple cities. Let's launch in not on the Swiggy app, let's keep it as a separate app, or not launch it for Swiggy One exclusive members, let's launch it for everyone, etc. This is a strategy document, but at the same time it's a GTM document. So and here you are able to essentially write down from a customer backward view, which customer should say what. And the way this document helps us is that once we are going through this, ahead of time, I'm going to create all my prototypes, and this is where all the prototypes are. I'm going to do this prototype testing with that target audience, and basically seeing, is this particular user or this kind of a persona of a user actually saying the way I had imagined them to say. And if it is not, then I have to go back and iterate. This is where the customer beliefs come in. So I want, this is the new belief for the user that I will write out, that it's a pleasant addition to my one subscription with most discount up to 20%, whatever that is. But this is the desired customer belief. And then we kept on iterating both on the strategy as well as on the exact product. Then no, it needs to be even more premium. No, it needs to like really show these savings ahead of time when they're showing this in bill. And then we had to cut a lot of things also. Wow, this is fantastic, but I also want to launch by 15th August. So what are the things that I can remove? And that's the product judgment that I want, for example, you guys to also think about as you're building something. And a PR FAQ is going to be a fantastic, tool for you to be able to do that. Just to like kind of think about the FAQs also. So we are actually talking about like all the frequently asked questions. None of this is actually going to the press, by the way. Maybe only that PR will go. But after that, we are writing how are the new future things will happen, how will refunds happen. And this may seem like a PRD, but this is not really one. A PRD will be more engineering focused. Here we are actually talking about all of the different states that will be there, and different ways in which, and different metrics, etc., that will be actually covered here. So even the actual metrics, etc., will be covered here. So once again, and there will be appendix. Now we are talking about like the previous one, what we had said, and what are we actually not covering in the most updated version. All right. So I'll go back to the slideshow. Some of the FAQs that I also want you to think about before you start building the product. Again, you write the PR, and every time you can show the PR to your stakeholders and then say, does this narrative make sense? In 6 months, if I'm doing this, all of this will happen. What do you feel about that? And the engineering head will say, no, I don't think that this is possible. Then you add a FAQ. It says, okay, what is required on the engineering side and how many resources do we want? What are the ABCD things? Somebody from business may say, no, I don't think we'll be able to launch in a particular city, and like whatever that is, etc. So all of those become FAQs. But there's some frequently asked questions that you, the product manager, must answer yourself. So who is the most specific ideal user of the product? Like be extremely sharp, targeted, and so on. And we'll come to that. How do you define the personas and so on? What is the current accepted user belief and what is a new belief? And you should write it in first person. You should not write it like, 26 to 30-year-old is my segment, etc. Don't do that. What is the key behavior that you want to drive? Remember when I was talking about there's a difference between beliefs and behaviors. Beliefs are long term, but behaviors are very clearly measurable behaviors that you can actually launch a product and see whether those user level metrics are changing. For most of you may already know, for example, remember when Facebook started its growth team, I think back in 2009 or something, like Chamath was leading at that time. And they said, through data, we understand that either users really love it and they get hooked to Facebook. That's a hockey stick growth of usage, or they really die down and stop using Facebook. And they saw it through data. And then they said, through data, we understand that in 2 weeks, if I am able to take this user to 10 friends, then network effects start kicking in and the user is going to a different level. So the behavior that they wanted to drive after onboarding, within 10 days or within whatever, 14 days, I want to make sure that this user does nothing, just adds friends until then the teacher, and after that something else will be done. So you have to write down the key behavior that you want to drive here, and it should not be a belief. It should not be like a very grandiose statement. It should be observable. It should not be a feeling, measurable, and uncomfortably specific. Again, no behaviors. Don't focus on outcomes. This is an input. Like what are the behaviors? What are the things that the users are doing? Be very, very specific. Who user? What are they doing? When are they doing what? Right. Then again, there are like maybe like 35 questions that I prescribe my product team even before they say that I want to build this product. But I'm just giving you a few of these things. How does it fit in the product strategy? What confidence do we have that this will work? Have we done any consumer research to feel more confident? What is the key hypothesis? What is the experiments that you will run, etc.? Then we basically write about what is the plan to win. Like if you launch this product in 2 months, 3 months, whatever time that you have to see, what are the success metrics? What will move from X to Y? And you have to write about CX or customer backward metrics, business metrics. CX is essentially user metric, behavioral metrics that we just talked about, funnel views, etc. Well, in Swiggy, we also have check metrics. Usually, you start doing something good, and some other things will go bad. Like imagine, like if we put like a huge dine out button on top, then Instamart will move somewhere and food will move somewhere. Till what time will be okay if we are getting less business and so on, right? Like on the other categories, people will not click everything that they have, etc. And those are the things that you do not want you to trouble after you launch your product. Those are your check metrics. So define those red lines for your check metrics. Get your alignment ahead of time. A PRFAQ template is also an alignment tool for you. And I've seen so many product managers struggle with alignment, and then they get frustrated and then say, hey, this company doesn't really understand how product building works and so on. And in a lot of cases, that's what I tell my PMs, that you are the reason for your own misery. You didn't align ahead of time. You didn't use a good tool where you could like really take this misalignment parameter out ahead of time and work with your stakeholders to actually drive alignment. All right, now we'll cover like a slightly different topic. Like we are going to move ahead. When you are imagining in the future, how do you take decisions? Like how do you know that this will work or this will not work? Well, it is art and a science, and I would say slightly more art than it is science, unless it's a very small, tiny experiment or a feature. Any decision, any product decision, is going to be a combination of these three things. They are three different axes. You will look at data, but data by definition is you're doing a look back. You're seeing this is what my users have been behaving in the past. You will use intuition. Intuition is essentially, if I do ABCD things, that would be a cool product and people will love it, essentially. And then you'll use empathy. Because data will only tell you what went wrong in aggregates, but really what is a fundamental that is working on a user level. So you have to only speak with users, observe them use your product, competition product, even other products, etc. With a lot of empathy, you develop a lot of intuition. So every product decision, you have to look at all of these three things well. Remember that. And in early stage products and 0 to 1 products, you have to use a lot of intuition and a lot of empathy. It's never sufficient when you're talking with users. You always keep on taking, even if it is a paper prototype, you keep on taking it to the user, understand from them that, hey, will this work or not? Then intuition will come with creativity. You have to sometimes throw away the entire idea and come up with a new idea, and then again go and empathize with the user. And once you launch, then data is going to really help you, because at large scale, like for example, scale of Swiggy, when we do like say 2 million orders a day, I can't basically say that, on my checkout page, should I put COD first, or should I put Amazon Pay first, or should I put my own wallet first, etc. Well, there will be different levels of empathy that will be working for different people. And then I need to like really expand my product and let data like guide a lot of these decisions. The other tidbit that I want to tell you is build with the users. You have to think about how can you take your idea to the users as fast as possible. Remember, we talked about empathy. Empathy is not only when you build your product and then take it to them, or just launch it and then look at data. That's really not the way it should be done. You build with the users. You discuss ideas with them, understand their reactions. Are they really excited about what you're trying to build? Are they like meh? Are they like, what the hell are you doing? Like all of this will kind of guide your product decision making framework. A simple thing that I do with prototypes, of course, like if you have done like proper UX designing courses, etc. If you're working with designers, they will give you a full toolkit. But for product managers, I really ask them to do these two things: noticeability and comprehension. When you're building a prototype, when you're building a new product that you want to take to market, you yourself basically decide what is the noticeability in my overall app my product is going to get. Give it a score: 7 on 10, 3 on 10, 10 on 10. And the comprehension that I want, like how many users will understand it, usually that should be 10 on 10. To give a couple of examples, right? For example, when we are talking about Swiggy Dine Out, like very recent example that I covered, when I launched this product, what is the noticeability that I want users to have? If I say 10 on 10, what does that mean? It means that I will block the Swiggy homepage and paste it with Dine Out. Did you know we have launched Dine Out? But is that something that we really want to do? So we said, no. Noticeability has to take slightly backseat. We are not going to do a launch blocker. It will be there. It will be 5 on 10. And comprehension is like, if a user basically says, if I tap on Dine Out, what do I expect? You have to ask the users, did they understand it completely and exactly the way you wanted them to? So that should be very high. To give you a counter example, say you are an Uber product manager and you're launching the Surge product. Well, you can say, okay, whenever there's written that his search fee is 20% something. I've not used Uber lately, but suppose it's 20%, 30%, etc. The comprehension should be clear. But if you say noticeability has to be 10 on 10 of search fee, what does that mean? You don't want it to be alarming. You don't want to spook the user away. You want it to be in a limited level. But in some cases, you really want the noticeability to be 10 on 10. So you have to decide ahead of time when you're testing the prototype, how does that work for the users? See how users are really behaving versus asking for. Cool. As you're building, as you're working towards your prototypes and so on and so forth, you relentlessly have to look for user data. You have to observe them. You have to draw insights from them, and you have to build hypotheses around what is happening. Why is it really happening? What could I do that could change the user behavior? If you're not truly pursuing the truth of what is happening in terms of user psychology, or in terms of your marketplace, or in terms of any way that can really screw with your product, you're not really doing your job as a product manager. It's very, very easy to.
Anuj, one small thing, your video is not visible, just in case.
All right, I'll turn it on if I can.
Yeah, all good now.
All good now?
Perfect, perfect.
Perfect,
Yeah.
perfect.
All right. Yes. So we're talking about if one trait of great product managers is curiosity, and for building really meaningful products, unless you can strike gold by flukely build products, but that's not the repeatable way to do that. Unless you're deeply curious about user insights and why users will behave in a certain way and so on, you're not really doing your job well. In a lot of cases, what happens is we actually know why it will not work, but don't really work towards improving it. We can say, for example, if I'm building, say, a Swiggy kind of an app, but if, for example, if the number of restaurants is only say 50, then will it really work? So if I'm looking at those observations, I have to push back and I have to really make other teams also sometimes do their work, so that eventually the final offering, that the package that comes to the user, is really working. Cool. I think we'll very quickly cover again users in a little bit more detail. We talked about empathy, we talked about intuition and data and so on. But who are you even thinking about? Which kind of user are you thinking about? I've recently, not recently, a year and a half back, I have read this from Ravi Mehta. I think he's like one of the most prolific product coaches, etc. Which tweet that described: you build for one and you build for millions. But if you build for millions, you build for one, and that's a very profound statement. And it had like a very direct impact of how I have always been thinking. Whenever you're building a product, think about one particular user, or three or four particular users, and think for that person, and actually build that product for that. Not like a segment of users. Of course, that segment of users you'll define, but within that segment, choose one user and build very sharply for that. Don't solve 80% of the problem for a large user base. Maybe solve 95% of the problem for one person. And that's a more repeatable way of building products, and or more short way of getting successes. I'll give an example. I was a product manager senior product manager at Walmart back in 2012, and I got a chance to actually work with their UX team to create personas for Walmart. Imagine Walmart is like, even at that time, 1/3 of the US shops at a Walmart store every week. Like, that's the scale. You may actually think that, hey, how can I do personas? How can I do segmentation? There are so many different users of my product. This Walmart doing this for maybe 100 million transacting user base every week. We essentially created personas. We said that, hey, these are the 6 people that we want to solve for. We also said these are the 20 people that we don't want to solve for. And these 6 people, they are significantly different, but they are also, we are able to create a story for them very, very clearly. And then what we did, we essentially named that person, and we also gave them an adjective. So Marta is modest Marta. Fran is frugalista Fran. Sasha is savvy Sasha. uh, the 3 primary personas that Walmart was solving for at that time were 3 women. That's their primary TG. And then we said, secondary, well, we will solve for them also, but we are not going to build a Walmart store or a Walmart app keeping only these 3 people in mind. When we build an app, when we build a product, we have to essentially take the shoes of Marta. Imagine that I am Marta, and I am like, I have very little money, and every dollar counts. I'm not very educated. My tech savviness is low. Price is very important. I don't care about convenience, etc. I have to really step into her shoes and then look at the product. Is that working for me? Do I really want reviews here? Do you want like more coupons? Things like that. We actually did a full-fledged story for Mata, and what are her needs, what are her desires, what are her aspirations, how do we think about like all of these different axes which are drivers of my category. Again, when you're working with personas, it's almost a tight rope that you have to do. It's an art and a science also. You have to realize that you do not write Marta's life story. You have to think about Marta in the context of your category. So here we are thinking about Marta in the context of commerce and e-commerce. That's why we are basically writing that she has to save money. She feels proud when she becomes more tech savvy. Then we talked about what are the things or what are the axes around which decisions will change around money, saving money, couponing, a lot of time when she spends, etc., etc. And then we create a particular story, and then we said, let's look at a particular buying occasion. And then we basically say, let's take a sample scenario. Mara wants to buy a gift for her son's birthday. And usually, what is the kind of bath that she'll take? Eventually, how will she buy it? And then we'll say that, hey, looking at Mata, if she were able to do this will really work. And what would be her disappointment? Now, remember, all of these things, this is all even before we have started thinking about a product. This is something that you should always have, and you should, even if you don't like create this like with a lot of research and a lot of data, etc., it doesn't matter. As a product manager, as long as you have nailed down on one or two or three or four people that you want to solve, and you know that there are a lot of people like that, and that's how that segment is defined, you should be able to nail that down, and you should be able to basically like very quickly on the user's behalf say, will this product work? Will this product not work? Will this product delight or will this product disappoint? So, like I said, build a lot of personas and do not solve for them. So while we're here, we chose that we want to solve for Marta, and here of these 6 personas, but the 20 personas that we didn't solve for a very rich guy. We didn't solve for Bill Gates here. We didn't solve for example, somebody who was earning like $250,000 a year, etc., etc. Sure, they accidentally get solved for, and they will come for their own needs, etc., etc. We are not saying that we will like shoo them away, but remember, you build for one, you build for millions, and those are the millions that will come. But if we didn't build for any of those, then the store or the product or the app would be a mishmash of 10 things that one product was built for her and the other one for her. The sensibilities of design, the way that things are arranged, etc., will all be very different. And then you have what do you know, like a khichdi of product rather than a consistent, coherent product. All right. While here, till now, if you notice, I have been only talking about B2C products. There are products that you are thinking about from a consumer lens, that if your product is going to be out to the consumer directly. But B2B is different. Like a lot of people in this cohort will also be folks who are working on B2B companies, SaaS companies, etc., etc. Here, the trick is still the same. You have to think about a persona, and you have to think about who do you. All the principles that we talked about remains the same, but there are these two different things that you have to do. You have to build for the end user. That, of course, is going to be there. But you have to price for the buyer. The buyer, in this case, maybe a CTO or CFO or a HR head or a manager or somebody in the procurement department, etc. And you have to show them the entire value that if you take my awesome looking, ticket booking app or some procurement solution, then what is in it for you and how will your users use it? In a lot of cases, B2B SaaS companies don't really innovate for the user. Maybe they actually work on the buyer part a lot, but I think both of these are equally important. You have to still build for the user, put yourself in their shoes, but you have to price for the buyer. Because if you ignore the user fully, when the time comes for renewal or when the time comes for payment, likely the buyer is going to move ahead and go and make another choice, and it won't really work. Pricing in B2B, it can never be an afterthought. In B2C also, I really trust if there are different kind of pricing models, but it's a fundamental thing that you have to get ahead of time and start thinking about, rather than launching and let's see what sticks. Unless you really understand your pricing and your economics, there is very little chance that you will be able to like overcome that part much ahead in the journey. You will be able to do it in a lot of cases. In a lot of cases, you'll just burn through money. It's a lot easy, for example, starting an e-commerce company and you say, I'll buy for 100 rupees and sell for 96. How long will you be able to do that? Why are you doing that? What is the price? What's your revenue model? You have to understand willingness to pay plus the ability to take a decision. For in a B2B company, you have to think about What is the willingness to pay off of this procurement one, multiplied also by, is this person really going to be able to take a decision, or I have to go to his boss? So unless you reach their final boss, don't stop there. All right, I think we do have like a few minutes remaining, but instead of going to the product engine, I think I'd like to stop now. We have, what do you say? I think a dense session already.
Yeah.
We'll stop this, and I'll take it back to Suhas and Aditya.
Thanks so much, Anuj. I think the chat section is going berserk, to be honest. Lots of questions. So I think thanks for taking the pause. In fact, folks, you all are missing out on a lot of interesting slides. But I think there's lots that's already been covered, right? There were, like, lots and lots of insight. So what we'll do is we'll take a couple of questions. I know we've hit the 10 o'clock mark. Lots of questions on the Q&A tab. If you all can just take 30 seconds and help us upvote some of them, we'll try taking two or three. Anuj, since we were on the pricing session, I'll probably like start off with one question. With maybe the Swiggy one example or any other example. Yeah. If you could just help us understand how did you guys come up with the pricing, and lots of iterations, right? Lots of brainstorming that would have gone into it. So if
My
you could just
God.
help us. Yeah.
My God, that's I could take like a 4-hour session just on Swiggy
Session.
one pricing.
Yeah.
So, very simply put, though, Swiggy one pricing or any other pricing really, it has to start with 3 points. You have to start with real value that the program delivers. B is the perceived value that the program delivers, and C is the willingness to pay for that perceived value. So, real value. For example, if you're a Swiggy one member, maybe you save say 1,500 rupees a month, right? So you think about, all right, this user saves 1,500 rupees a month, so I should be able to, like, ideally I should be able to price it as much as the user is saving. That's ROI one. But now there are two different things that come in. One is, what is the perceived value? What is the user feeling when they're a Swiggy one member? And the perceived value could be combination of tangible value and intangible value. I am a part of an exclusive club. I can order whenever I want. I never have to care about convenience fee and delivery fee and so on. I will get dine out, and even if I'm not saving this month, but I should be able to save next month and so on. And usually, and again, you have to define that in your particular area, what is the ratio between real value and perceived value that the users are looking to get, and the ROI also, how much ROI that the user is willing to get. कि 1500 रुपए बचाने के लिए, should I can think that 300 rupees is worth it, and maybe that's the truth. Then either you play with benefits or you play with pricing.
Fair.
So you have to work with both of them, and you have to really, again, choose the segment of customers. So we had like a very clear choice of customers that we wanted to go after. Being in a B2C C company, it is very easy to go with after everyone. So we basically said we cannot go after the users who cannot pay or who are low frequency, low AOV customers, or customers who are only ordering, whose discount affinity is high, who will like basically abuse the system, who will call up and like return the orders. So which are the customers that we don't want to give it to, which are the customers do we want to give it to? And then you arrive at different pricing models, and then you basically see that Swiggy one is a benefit. Do you want to go for 1 month option, 3 month option, 12-month option? Do you want to go for a trial option? Should I give to some users for free? So all of these are beautiful mathematical models that we build, and they all come truly false when we launch to the customer. And then we learn from real data, and then we iterate, and then we understand from customers, why did you not buy it? What is the willingness to pay? One is willingness to pay, the other is willingness to renew. So what are the things, at what various points of time did we have to tell you and make an intersection, you have saved so many rupees? So after 3 months, your belief is, yeah, this is worth it. So that's how like kind of all of these concepts come together, which is the desired customer belief, willingness to pay, iterations, building with the customers, and so on.
Got it. Got it. And there's a follow up in the chat section. Is there like a crazy AI ML algo to get to that? Is there like a proper Excel model to get to that number? Or is it more qualitative than getting to this quantitative number? Also, just another second part to that question, is it easier to launch at a lower price and then increase the price? Or do you generally think of it, ki I will, which way is it easier? Ki do I launch it at say $500 a month, then come down to 350? Or is it easier to go up to 50?
I wish I could actually show you the original model that we built for Swiggy One. It is not AI/ML, by the way. I can tell you that decisions at this level are never taken by AI. Uh, AI is AI is going to help machines do better job. Data analytics, observations, etc., are going to help humans do a better job. These are high level strategic decisions that you have to take. So by the way, in this case, I'll tell you like the journey of Swiggy One pricing and Swiggy One itself. We created 16 scenarios. We said that, and each of the scenarios, that should we have a one tier program, two tier program? Should we have launch at 299 or 499? 3 month plan, 12-month plan. Should we do, for example, 75% restaurants have free delivery, 100% restaurants have free delivery, and then that's where you plot all of those things, and then after that you write which parameters are important to you. For example, we want to reach a 5 million user base. We want to make sure that this program is profitable. We want to win in India 1 and India 2. This, we want to like really attack the competition. We want to make sure that this program is it has a very easy distribution, like so that I can gift it away to Amazon Prime members also, for example. So you write which parameters are important to you. Now for each of those grids, then you basically rank it, and that's a product manager going and doing that. That if I choose, make this choice, this is a cost implication, this is some other parameter implication, and so on. Help the company arrive at a decision, and then take accountability. Like you are the one who recommended this, and you drove the decision, and then write a PR FAQ for that, and then say, this is why I'm taking the entire decision. All of these things I want launched by this time, for this capital, for this impact.
Got it. No, thanks so much for sharing that. I think these behind the scene insights are what is rare. And I just want to quickly check the clock. How much time do you think you have? That way we can filter the rest of the questions.
We have like 10 minutes more.
Okay, perfect. So three questions, Adi. I will
Yeah,
let you
yeah,
take
let's
one,
do
and
it.
then I will come back with one more.
Awesome. That was so insightful. Like you said, we could literally have a marathon session just on Swiggy One and its pricing.
In fact, you
Uh,
know something, Adi, I put on the chat
uh,
section that
uh,
the surge session was like a 3 hour session, like Anuj had shared, and this is a
exactly.
1 hour session, so we had to cut. Someone was like, "Hey, can we do it? This session is probably better than a movie." So it's probably something for you. But yeah, go for it.
Absolutely. Since Suhas picked Swiggy one, I'll pick my favorite Swiggy product, which is Swiggy Instamart. And Instamart literally blew up in so many different cities. It grew so fast, and while maintaining quality as well, delivering on time, good products, etc. If you have any growth stories or any fun, interesting behind the scenes stories around building of Instamart, that'd be amazing.
Right, this is a slightly advanced topic, but let
Yeah.
me, I don't know, let me blow your mind around how much. And so, as we were talking about this last time when we met, right? So, story of commerce, on the input side, whatever you are giving as an offering to your users, it's only three things: selection, convenience, price. Right now, Instamart is a grocery delivery service, and there are so many of them. There is Zepto, Blinkit, there is Instamart, there is Big Basket, and then there is, even DMart, like whatever. Like there's so many grocery players. Every one works on a different trio of selection, price, and convenience. For example, if a Blinkit has, say, 1,500 items, Zepto has 800. Does Of a big basket of 50,000 items, where does Instamart want to play in? Right, so one is that choice. Instamart basically says, I want to play in like the 2,500 to 4,000 range. Good, because that has implications. How big pods you will have, which location in the city you will be able to have the pods. How is your supply chain really going to work? How will pickers, if you created this enough basket, how will they like bring all these products together and deliver it to the customers, and so on and so forth, right? Like all of those things are on the supply side, and that's only selection. Now we come to price. Like, will you be able to ever charge or price or whatever value? You can just think of it like that. What will be the unit economics? Like, how will you make money? What are the items, 200, 2,500 items that you will sell? On an average, what is your basket size going to be? Was it Delphi? Eventually, what's the money that you're going to make? And the third one is convenience to the user. You can do all of these things, and you can essentially not do a 10-minute delivery or not do a 30-minute delivery, and maybe still do a big basket kind of a delivery, or next day delivery, for example. Now, this combination of price selection, will it work? Will it make you win in the marketplace? Is it solving for a particular consumer need? Different people or different products will have different hypotheses around why this something certain or some certain product should work. Instamart was going after a very simple insights. And Indians don't like to plan anymore. Gen Z does not like to plan anymore. They are unplanned. They are not like their parents or millennials who will go to a supermarket and who will go and with a list, and then we will look at, hey, is I want Ashirwad ka only this particular atta at 25% off, which I can get at this place. We were not targeting those users anyway. So we were very sharp around, we are targeting Gen Z and millennials, affluent millennials, who for whom convenience matters more, who are willing to pay a delivery fee, and who want things fast, but not so fast that we have to break our bank, and not so fast that we have to reduce selection, but it still causes a habit change. So that's how we kind of work. But to our quack man, like, this is a good enough starting point, but grocery is tough. Groceries is like, what, say, $800 billion of Indian GDP. Like, it's basically what, half, or sorry, one fifth, one fourth of Indian GDP, something like that is grocery. So many players are there, and there is, you have to compete and your milk wala and your what do you say, big bazaars and big baskets and so on and so forth. Once we started launching, there were every day was full of insights.
Is it just me or did the video?
I
Yeah, we're
think
back.
you're
We're
back.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. So there were every day was full of insights.
And
No,
I
your
think,
video is off.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're back. We're back.
I'm sorry, there was some interruption on in my internet, I think.
No.
So yeah, coming again. Every day was full of insights. We had to then break it down. Why are these users coming back? So morning the reason maybe milk dairy bread, and evening the reasons maybe munchies, snacks, and so on. And the answer will be very different in Delhi and in Bangalore. And in Bangalore, the answer is very different in Kormangla versus Indranagar. One area sleeps later and the other does not. The kind of brands that work here do not work there. The kind of delivery fee affinity works here does not work there, and so on and so forth. So everything is different. By the way, we also had an interesting insight around, should we use Instamart as a channel of user acquisition for Swiggy? Yeah, should we go to the market and basically say that, come here because Instamart? Or should we say we have a large enough base of food users and we should cross pollinate to Instamart so that we have, like, this growth flywheel going on, etc. So that's kind of, those are the insights that we came with.
Absolutely. And I think the last point that you made, I noticed that, Anuj, are you on?
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
sorry,
Yeah.
there was a security guy
Yeah.
who was trying to chew me out, so I had to just.
No.
Yeah, so even I noticed that in previous years, IPL, Swiggy Instamart was advertised as a primary play rather than Swiggy, the main app. So the point around acquiring customers
Yes,
via
yes.
that comes from there, I think. So yeah, perfect.
You
Thanks.
can.
There's a story to that also. There's an interesting reason on how internally they had to, make that decision. Maybe that for another time. And it's two more questions, so I will try picking juxtapose couple of questions. I'll merge and also try relating it to some of the slides that you had coming up, right? So this one I want to ask is around competitors and moats, right? You already competitors and the moats that you can build around products that you've been doing. You're in a market, especially something like Swiggy is maybe a three-sided marketplace, right? One on one side you have um, on customers, and on the side vendors, and then delivery agents, right? So in this, in your opinion, in your experience right now, which is the hardest one to build if someone's building in a marketplace, and how do you think about building moats into products in a competitive market?
Right. I think I don't think of them like moats. I think of them like growth loops, and different parts of the growth loop essentially give me a variety of segments of users who are at different level of stickiness with your platform. And I try to look at, like, how do I get the users to the highest or the stickiest part in my funnel. So, to be honest, like, and that's one way to look at that. That's the user growth funnel. I think last in Sajo we covered that part. That's the user growth loop or product led growth part. There are other kind of modes also that you can build. For example, the three-way marketplace mode. It's very difficult to get your three-way marketplace where you have both high tech and high touch, and how you can, because, and that's the reason why it has come to be a duopoly. There are no, like, three, four, five players now, because it's a freaking difficult thing to actually manage and build and sustain and run and profitably where all the three pieces of the marketplace are happy with you.
Yeah,
And it's not an unstable marketplace, because then it's going to explode. So that's a difficult mode to build, preserve, and operate at scale and adjust at scale. So that's one.
true.
Similar is the case with network effects. I think network effects are a very important mode, which you have in products which are not defensible, which can be easily cloned. But the only real value is if there are more people coming in, and nobody is going to quit your platform because they have some vested interest in your platform now, or some stickiness because other people are there. For example, Facebook or a Snapchat, or even Tinder, and so on and so forth. The other one are really technology modes, which is the secret sauce modes of, for example, the AI and ML that you can work on. And and that are really tough to kind of capture and build by other companies also, because you're working with your data when you already have a large scale, etc. So I think of all of these things together, but ultimately it goes back to my user level growth loops in terms of stickiness. How can we graduate this user to a higher level of stickiness? For example, a new user to Swiggy, we will see a massive drop off rate. They will not, like, some of them will order, some of them will not. We know that if they have ordered 4 times in a month food, or 4 times in a month grocery, or one time food and one time smart, then they have graduated to a level of activation where their probability of coming and ordering from Swiggy is 75% now next month. But they're still at risk. They can be stolen, they can go away. But if they have bought Swiggy One, then that's the insurance. Then that's when they have paid you money to be loyal to you. So that's a different level of mode. So you have to think about these things in like levels of stickiness.
Right. The Swiggy one would be like the Amazon Prime, right? If you were to draw parallels, would you say that would be a fair parallel? Not so much.
I Yes and no.
Okay.
I think Amazon Prime is, so one is Amazon is very different because Amazon has already it is like a large program. It's a 12 million, 15 million kind of a program. So it's built for everyone, kind of sabka
Fair
saath
enough.
sabka saath program. And they have like also like they've brought in very, very different kind of things. I have like nothing but respect for Amazon. It's a
Fair
very
enough.
different way of looking at that. So it's a mass program.
Fair
Whereas
enough.
Swiggy is not supposed to be that kind of a mass program. We are not attracting that level of India just yet. So we will think about like even it could be a different tier, it could be a different way of thinking, etc. etc. also. B, Amazon is a national catalog. So wherever you are in India, your experience will be same. You'll still get free delivery and so on, like whatever refund and so on. Swiggy One though, because every city is different. Like in Gurgaon, 10 kilometer radius may not be as attractive in Bangalore, and maybe the MOV of those customers may not be, and so on and so forth. And maybe the core service there in a city where you are seeing 1,000 restaurants versus where you're seeing 50 may be different.
Yeah.
So the product may be the same, but the experience of the user may be different. So we have to think a little bit like more segmented and city wise. So yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. No, that's a great differentiation. Adi, super hard for me to pick up the last question, so I will defer it to you. Do you want to go for it?
Yeah, I'll pick a last one and I'll make it quick because I know Anuj needs to head out after this. Anuj, since you lead growth and revenue there, what are those top 3 or 5 things on top of your dashboard? Some things that you keep on the back of your mind always, things that you maybe see daily, weekly. What are those top 3 or 5 metrics?
Um, so actually, that's like a good what we call a WBR dashboard,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
some of those are very clear. So Swiggy one is obviously
Do
the
you log into a dashboard like that every morning? Like first thing in the morning, do you look at a dashboard, or maybe
I
someone?
want to,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm getting my all my dashboards rebuilt. Like today, all my analysts
Okay.
and others, there's a scramble because they have to still present to me, and it's not presented in a good dashboard way view. But here's what I look at every day. So Swiggy one, of course, there's some 20 metrics I look at. What is the member balance? What happened yesterday? What was their transactions? Um, what was the 7 day renewal rate? What is the cost that we incurred? And so on and so forth. Like there's some basic metrics, but you don't really need to look at it daily. It's like weekly thing. Daily I look at like user acquisition, activation, movement towards like all the stickiness level things. We look at spiky cities, for example. So because we have deployed like different strategies in different cities, my team also leads marketing, not only product. Essentially, which are the cities where of the 600 where they have blown red, where we are doing well with respect to user acquisition and activation and so on, which are the cities where we are not, etc. So those are the ones we look at. Then there are regular dashboards on like payment led growth, etc. that we look at. There are partnerships that my departments also look at, like which are the new partnerships that got struck. So they are asked to like update it daily and so on. So it's a fairly broad view of the world, not only a product dashboard. If Adi, you are going for that.
Yeah. No, no, yeah. I just wanted to know what do you look at, say, every day or every week, and that answers it. I'll probably sneak in one last question. Anuj wanted to end it on a super high note. Swaz, do you want to come in with something or?
I'll take one after you, but very, very tiny,
Yeah,
one liner.
done. Done. Yeah, Anuj, so you have been in this space for probably almost 2 decades now. What lies next for you, personally, professionally? What is it that you are personally excited about for the next few years? Yeah, just curious.
No, I think I've been fairly consistent in the way that I've been thinking, at least for the last 10, 12 years. I think a starting point. Of course, I want to go for impact. I know it's a cliche to say, but I think I start from the POV of India deserves better. I think that's where my starting point is. That was the reason to do Flipkart. While I did Walmart in between, but really, uh, how can we solve for Indians and make their lives more convenient and get them access to things where they should not like wait for things. Like this is a country where roads don't work, government doesn't really work. If your life is generally like inconvenient. How can we build for consumers directly where they can actually feel like a first world country and get everything accessible to them? So that's the kind of the driving force. I also deeply care about building great product leaders, not only great products. So that's for example another thing, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing Insurgent. Like it's if we could like help a lot of young product managers. I'm not saying getting inspired, but at least learning from like, hey, these are the things. That's how like other leaders think, etc., etc. That's a very good high for me. And every year I choose like 3 to 4 people that I mentor directly and want to see them reach levels where they're building global products and they're like really contributing, etc. So that's like something that really really drives me. Uh, Another thing that really drives me is Swiggy. I really want to see this company be very successful and like be the vehicle of change that I personally want to make. So yeah, very simple definitions, not
Yeah,
very complicated at all.
amazing, amazing.
Anuj, thanks so much for that session. Honestly, I think way too many value bombs. I'll end with this one, and especially because there are so many young folks on this. Um, Not a generic closing thought, but one I think that we both were also discussing is lots of young folks these days. Maybe because of social media, because of other reasons, there's a lot of FOMO that goes around, especially early in your career, right? Has that occurred to maybe people that you mentor as well? And if there were some points that you can share with them that, hey, it's a long journey, career is still ahead of you. How does one deal with that inferiority complex or modes? So that's one topic that I love to end on.
Inferiority complex, imposter syndrome. It could be like so many of those things. Um, I've kind of changed my mind. I've been through like these journeys. Like even when I was at Flipkart, um, I've seen both superiority complex as well as inferiority complex. Like I am so awesome. This company is a donkey company. Why am I working here? So then I realized later on that hey, I was so wrong. Like I have to like bring things in perspective. I think the starting point is you have to have confidence in yourself. There are 3 things that I look for in product managers, and I think all of those are coachable. And all of those, if you have to think about, you should have like a large amount of grit and drive, and you can build that. You have to have drive. You should never give up. You should have a growth mindset. This is coachable and trainable. Like you should want to do that, and if you have to, you seek advice and you seek guidance and so on. Read books if that works for you, etc., but have like a lot of drive and never give up. It's always good to know where you are right now, but even if you are even if you feel FOMO, or even if you feel that you're not yet there, but if you have the growth mindset and curious mindset, and if you're persistent, you can reach there. So first is like just know that it is possible, and that's what growth mindset till life means. The second one is sharpen your skills around problem identification and problem solving. In my opinion, don't only be a product manager. Go at least have like 5 or 6 different hobbies or interests or like a wide variety of friends that, and you don't even know how many dots will connect from where to where. You cannot really plan for that. Your learning cannot be planned that way. Your musical learning, so I have a guitar here as well, like will connect in some different way in your product building experience. Your engineering experience may connect somewhere else. Your analytical experience may connect somewhere else, and you have to think about it that way. And again, it's learnable and coachable. But if you think, hey, I'm not worthy, nobody is. Remember the first slide that I showed in today's deck?
Yeah.
No matter how senior you are, etc., etc., nobody has a repeatable formula. Like even if I have to build a product today, I don't have a repeatable formula that it will definitely work. I am starting from where you're starting. It's just that I have so many experience, so I can go back and say कि ये नहीं आता है. But if as long as you have, okay, I want to be gritty and I want to develop these skills. And third, which is definitely the most learnable skill of them all, learn communication, learn influence. We like it or not, we product management is sales. We are in the job of influencing. We are in the job of habit changing. We are in our job. Users have a particular habit. You want to challenge them, and your product comes and changes their habit. That's what you are in for. You are trying to sell them something else. Unless you fundamentally know how to influence people, your products anyway are not going to work very well. So think about influence and think about communication that leads to that proactive influence. And all of these three things, as I said, you don't need to be feel firm over that. You will develop the skill. You have to be at it. And of course, like in my opinion, today's generation is much better off because they have forums like say TPF. They have mentors. At least like this field is not new. There are people that they can look up to. There are books that they can go and read, and the Twitter that they can follow. So much information is available. But just know that it is all possible, and all of these are people, and maybe were more FOMO driven than you guys were.
Thanks so much, Anuj. I think fantastic end to this session. Although, like others shared, I wish this would have lasted for another couple of hours, but I know you need to rush to another place. Folks, if you did enjoy the session, we will be sharing Anuj's LinkedIn/Twitter. Of course, he is very busy, so don't like bombard him with DMs. He might not be able to, but any feedback that you'll have for the session, Anuj did mention to us in the beginning as well, and we will be adding a feedback form in the chat section. So please do share that. If you did like the session, please do share it with others on social and tag Anuj. I think that will allow us. Everyone wants you to come back for another session, Anuj. So that is
And
something.
Anuj Rathi fan club ongoing in the chat. So
Yeah, we should probably take a transcript of the chat alone and share that with you, Anuj. I think you'll enjoy going through that. But thanks once again for making this happen, Anuj. Just before you hop off stage, we usually end these sessions with a small screenshot because Adi and me are both usually very animated during the session. So if you could just give us a thumbs up, we'd love that. Lots of folks.
Yes.
Thanks so much, Anuj. Anuj, any thoughts? Any last thoughts for our audience? I think you can keep going through the chat section on the right. I think lots and lots of
My
um,
God, that's a lot, and please do share the transcript. I love getting feedback. Like a lot of people also notice this. Be humble. I think that's a very important trait. And
Anuj, you can show them your guitar as well on the exact other side. There's your
the other
guitar.
side of the guitar.
Yep. So
And this
Anuj
is the
is.
speak of it. So of course we be humble, but we also have fun. But one thing that I would ask, and again, like one trait or something that I want to share with everyone is we talked about that in the slide. Which is really this passionate truth finding is something that will lead you to greater heights. So never settle. Try to find out what is really going on, be it consumer behavior, be it like why is this product not working, be it data or analysis, be infinitely curious. If you club that with your drive, then you're unbeatable and unstoppable. So thank you.
Thanks so much for this,
thanks
Anuj.
so much.
We will
All
see
right.
you. Bye.
Goodbye. Thank you
Thanks
guys.
so much, Anuj. Bye.
Folks, how was the
Great.
session? Yeah, I can see lots of reactions and chat coming.
It's great.
I personally loved it as well. Adi.
Love the session. Probably one of the best sessions you have hosted so far. And we can see the energy in the chat and uh, just just blown away by the insights. And especially we dug deeper into a lot of behind the scenes of Swiggy One, Instamart, uh, the Dine Out PR, FAQ. So tons of real world insights. And I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. You can see it in the chat, but crazy session
Adi, lots of people want Anuj to come back, and I saw a chat saying that what if we could get Shreyas and Anuj on the
together.
same? That'll be amazing, right? I
That
was just
will crash
thinking.
everything.
I was just thinking, can we do one of those? We have a pinned tweet, right? If we get, I don't know what the latest count is, but if we get 100 RTs on that, what if you or me, write to Shreyas and Anuj and try making that happen? What do you guys think?
Let's do that.
Can someone tell me what the number is right now? Okay, a lot of people are already in, so let's try this. What do you think? I think it'll be amazing if we can get both of them. I'm not. We already have chats open with both, so we can make it happen. Okay, folks, I'll
We are at
quickly.
780 RTs. I think we are at 780 RTs right now on the
So
pin tweet.
1,000 and we make it happen. What do you think, guys? Is
Let's do
possible? You
that.
have more than this
1000
here.
RTs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
1000
let me
RTs. Go
quickly
there,
share the
RT.
link here. I think we have more people in this session itself. Not sure if you all are active, but let's reach 1,000 and then we promise you, Adi and me. We don't know if we can make it happen, but we promise we'll
We'll
put
try
that
our
up.
best.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
we'll share the effort with you, like screenshots or anything that you want. Other than that, I think lots of the feedback you shared here, regardless, I think the least we can do for all our mentors, they spend so much time coming through. In fact, backstage, Anuj is telling us he skipped another very important dinner and joined us. So not easy on their part as well. I'm sure you understand that. So if you guys are posting it on social, please do tag them as well. I think that small amount of recognition, that small amount of them reading that, hey, this was amazing, that helps us get them back year on year. In fact, Shreyas, Lenny, Anuj, they've come back year on year with us, right? And we'll try getting them again next year. This was, I think, very similar to the feedback we got last year, and that's why we were like, okay, hey, if there was one speaker that we would repeat this year, who would that be? And I think it was unanimous, right? We will try getting him back again next year. I know everyone loved it. Also, I know I don't want to create any extra FOMO, but the next few slides were amazing. So that's probably one of the reasons that I also want to reach out to Anuj to just cover that. Like I shared in the beginning, start all your posts this time with this was the same deck, by the way, that Anuj used at Sequoia Search, right? So
Yeah.
Sequoia Search for product managers equal to Insurjo. I'll probably put that in the chat. If that is a hook you want to start with, go for it. Hope you all were able to grab screenshots. Some of you all were also sharing some amazing feedback for Insurjo in general. So what I'll do is maybe we'll spend 2-3 minutes just talking to you folks on the feedback for this session. Someone did mention, hey, can you get Sidhu on that session as well? I think that'll be interesting. Imagine Sidhu, Shreyas, and Anuj. I think
Anuj.
Sidhu and Anuj is very much tribal, right? And
Yeah.
Anshumani Rudra, I imagine. Okay, I think we
Yeah.
can go about this. Join backstage for these conversations. But let's move on, right? We have a couple of other interesting announcements, like I shared earlier. And then we will spend 5 minutes on all your feedback that you have for Insurjo. The chat section was giving us a lot of ideas. We've tried actually implementing. Some of you all did share with us last time that the teardown and the case study were overlapping in month one. So this time, what we've done is we are trying to skip the last case study, and we will, in fact, give you more time for the teardown, right? So if you are participating in the 10-day product management challenge, 6 live sessions, 3 case studies, 1 teardown. This is mandatory, and we will be collecting the links in our last form along with your portfolio. So that makes your eligibility. Someone did ask for the certificate. I have a really nice screenshot now that I share if you ask me for certificates. That said, we also have the feedback form. Anuj had specifically asked us to collect this feedback. It is, something that you can be critical about as well. We will not be sharing your personal data ahead, but as in what you share the feedback, we will not be mincing it. If you like the session, include it. What we always say is, if you like the session, share it on social. If you did, you can go unknown, share it with us in private, and I can assure you we go through each and every. The core team sits down. We've gone through almost all the feedback you've shared so far, right? So we are looking at that, and that just helps us make it much, much better the other time around, right? Any questions that you'll have, or can we move on with the last announcement that we have? Any questions?
Just before the announcement, folks, if you're watching this from YouTube, please hit that like button and drop in your comments on how did you like the session. Whatever your feedback is, right? We'll share that with Anuj as well. So, folks watching from YouTube, drop
This
in a
just
like
helps
if
us.
you have not done yet. Yeah.
Yeah, this just helps us get those speakers back again. Honestly, them spending time with them, do the math, right? The opportunity cost plus the hourly rate. If you do follow Naval and Kunal, you know how much they talk about hourly rates. So for them to actually, Rohan is asking, share the deck. Unfortunately, Rohan, there is material that's not been covered, right? That's the reason we cannot share the entire deck. Plus,
Correct. Yeah.
this is the deck that Anuj had reshared. Max, what you can do is go on YouTube and ensure that you take screenshots of the sessions. If someone
Actually,
misses,
we can probably keep the session for a bit longer if we can set some like target. What do you say, Suhas?
I
Let's
don't mind, honestly.
let's
We're gamifying this entire bit. What do you think? What number do you want to put on this? What's the current one like?
let's because
Anyone can help us with the number.
everyone has
20,000
enjoyed
likes.
the
Okay,
session
that
and
Chandana, we
a
wish to.
realistic number.
What is meant by 6 live sessions? Anyone? I'll let other people share this in the chat section because many of them know the answer to this. Folks, if y'all can help here. 2,000 likes. What do you think? We can target 2,000. If you get
That's
2,000
fine.
likes on this video, folks, I will
Yeah.
personally go to Anuj's office and request him to come. Yeah, let's do that, right?
Yeah. Let's get 2000 likes on this one. Not difficult. Share it with your friends as well.
Done.
I mean,
And we'll keep it
after the
live.
session is done.
We'll keep
Yeah.
this one live. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll keep this one live. We'll not make it private. Let's do
Okay,
this.
guys, you'll have two targets to
The
make this
stakes are
happen.
higher.
Yeah. Okay, let's do this, guys. I love it. Thanks so much for bringing this makes the session so much more livelier. I think this amount of spontaneity is something that we love. Um, One last announcement that we have for you. We're not going off stage, by the way. It is one of our biggest announcements. In fact, Chetra, if you're around, if you can come up on stage, that would be awesome. I have the video live as well, but I want you to come up on stage because I know how much effort you put into this. Meanwhile, on the chat section, folks, if you all can highlight the link to the tweet as well as YouTube, everyone. There are more people in this chat as well. I think we can make it happen. Um,
Hey Suhas,
yes,
hey
Chetra, we
Aditya.
can. Oh, yes, awesome.
Awesome.
Welcome on
Hi.
board the Insurjo live
Yes.
session. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah,
I have the
no
video open
problem.
in front of me, but before I play that, I'd love to hear your thoughts. How was your experience working behind the scenes? In fact, Chetra Gaid was one of our participants in Insurjo 21. She came on board, built this entirely, single-handedly. Of course, there were other people helping her, but actually drove it, and that's why she's joining us right now. She built the entire platform. There will it is a beta for a reason, so we're open to any feedback that you have. We've already gotten lots of feedback, people loving it, people sharing what could be better, but be kind to us as well. I think this is something driven by volunteers, for the community. So Chatra, how has your experience been from W21 to W22? And I will bring up the video right after that.
I mean, I clearly remember participating in one of the tear downs, front row tear down, and I think I got placed like seventh. I just got a special mention, and I was
Oh, wow.
super happy about it as well. Yeah, and I've been following TPF for a very long time, so I'm just super happy that on the next cohort in Sergio, I get to release along with the team, right? A platform that could definitely help, folks who uh, want to break into or who want to upskill themselves, right? Like even I have been there, even I'm still there. So I would definitely would like to have a mentor. I've always wanted to have a mentor, so I think this could be like a great opportunity, a great place where you can find your mentor and build a very good relationship from there.
True.
So yeah, I'm super happy to be launching this, especially for in search of folks. So yeah, let's
Thanks so much, Chatra, for that.
launch.
With that, I'll quickly bring up the video while you are still with us on stage. Let me know whenever you can see my screen.
You can see your screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. This was the Ally platform launch exclusively for Insurjo members. We did have a bunch of beta sessions that are live. We've kept the QR code on screen, folks. If you all can hit and test it out for us before you'll just let us know if you can access
Yeah.
it. We've definitely
If
tested.
not, I think we can also add it on the chat section, right? The
That'll
link
be
to
awesome. That'll
Ally.
be awesome. If you folks on Airmeet, we will pin it to the chat, and folks on YouTube can access this as well. Request you all to keep it specifically for Insurjo members right now. We have a limited set of mentors, so everyone won't get access to it post that. We will do a public launch later, so that's no problem. Is there a special access coupon, Chatra, that they can DM you for, or is it
Not really. If
okay?
they check out, they will find the discounted price
Okay,
when they
perfect.
check out.
Okay, we've already enabled that. It's okay. That's awesome then. So folks,
Yeah.
truly decentralized. I think I did test the platform, but this was one of the feedback and it's already been built in. So go try it out. Let us know your feedback. If you did enjoy it, as usual, do help us spread the word in social. If you have some critical feedback, ears always open. Whether you want to go anon or not, you can DM us directly. Cheta, in fact, is the PM on this product, but all of us as part of the team work together. If you do have feedback for this, please let us know. um, like I mentioned a couple of times earlier, again, not trying to drive FOMO here, but that 60 minutes that we got, like I think Smarth was also with me, to go chat with Anuj. In fact, I was offline, right? So It was one of the best times, right? The insights into how Swiggy One actually works behind the scene. What are the metrics? The dashboard that Adi spoke about. We got to chat about that. Many of you didn't ask this, but one of the common, like one of the popular things in our community at back in the day was 10-minute delivery. Right now, I think it's eased out, but everyone was gunning for it, and it was all over Twitter. Right. So, how does the Instamart team think about it? Adi, you spoke about the Instamart on IPL as instead of Swiggy as a whole, right? So there's a lot of
Yeah.
discussion that actually went internally on why they did it. Like it's strategic,
Yeah.
and there are some interesting things there,
We were
right? So
speaking to a Swiggy PM about this earlier.
yep, exactly, right. In fact, on Sunday we have Taruna as well, who is ex Swiggy, currently at
So
LinkedIn.
yeah.
So that is exactly why we built Ally, right? Because we see the power. There are lots of things that we can do at scale right now as well. But wherever you are in your career, right? And it's not a platform. It's not just because we built it, but it is why we think it is important, right? And we have a couple of products lined up. Reason we kept this on top of Insurjo democratizes education for you, but it is something that is not possible for us to do one to one, right? It is at scale. We try our best. I think we've done a bunch of things, one to one GrabChai networking. We've done tavern sessions. We have GrabChai offline. We have the learning sessions. We have case studies. All of that is available to you. But lots of y'all came back to us saying that, hey, we want one to one mentorship last year. So this is again feedback taken from y'all and built for y'all. So go check it out. If y'all have any questions, happy to take it. Take it. Okay, I think we broke this app as well. As usual, I think the power of Insurgent doesn't stop. Hope we will look into it. Maybe this is something we were afraid. We did do load testing. But I'm not sure how many of you all are accessing it from YouTube and Airmeet together. So do check it out. If you face some issues, maybe you can try it in a bit. It will work. It's probably because thousands of you all are trying to access it at the same time, right? Chatra, any thoughts? I love the video, by the way. Great work on that. Any
Yeah.
thoughts that you want to add on to anything we shared?
I am just super happy over the
Yeah.
launch, and I can't wait to get your feedback from
Yeah,
the Insurjo
please be
folks.
kind to Chaitra as well. She has
Yeah.
a full-time job and she does this on the side. So when you DM her on Slack, I think she had hundreds of messages last time, thanks to me. But good job on that, Chaitra. And you might have critical feedback as well, and we are completely open to that.
Yeah.
But please be kind. I think just wanted to bring that up. I think um, I mean, Adi and me have been around for 3 years, so we've seen a bunch of this. But it is someone just like you, right? Someone who has been in the audience, come up, built a product. So imagine if you were in her place, what would you? And that said, we are 100% open to feedback. The reason I'm saying this three times is because I've seen some of those messages, and just wanted to
This is
highlight
the
that.
first. This is the first product that we are building, right? Till
Totally.
now, we were a community largely. We have been doing courses, resources, educational content, etc. Since this is the first product, we need all the feedback and support that we can get. But yeah, like Suhas said, be a little bit more kinder towards Ally in that sense. But thanks a ton for a lot of support that you folks have been showering upon Ally in the last few weeks, and we all have been loving seeing the feedback. And finally, it's launched. Chitra and the team has put in
Yeah.
so much hard work behind the scenes. Finally,
And
happening.
I'd
So
like
thanks
to
so much.
thank the team, Mrunalini.
Are they here
She
as
has
well?
been a great, yeah.
If they're here,
Mrunalini,
ask them to raise their hand. We'd love to
yeah,
bring them on stage.
yeah.
So we're already getting
Not
some
sure,
feedback. I think
but yeah,
awesome name.
she was of great help. She did some really good stuff,
Yeah.
and of course Shamita, she's been with us
Samantha,
throughout
come
the
up on
journey.
stage if you are
So
on the. Yeah.
yeah,
In fact, Chaitra, there are one or two
and
questions I'd love
thanks
to
to you,
take.
Suhas.
Yeah,
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 no,
yeah, yeah, please.
no, good job, good job. I think one of the questions
Yeah.
I'll probably want to address as well while you're here is how do people really look at Ally, right? Why the name Ally came through is, folks, the idea behind a platform like Ally is we look at mentorship. I'll tell you our definition of it is you being accountable, you being responsible, and actually providing value on both sides, right? We don't think of it as, see, we have GrabChai already, which is if you just want to meet one to one with people, we have that platform, right? And it happens every week. You can sign up. It's completely open to all, right? So go sign up, have that if you want to have a casual conversation. What we look at mentorship is in the long term, right? If you find great mentors early on in your life, hold on to them, right? Your entire career. I've seen people as soon as, I'll give you an example, right? People who are working with Anuj, if you enjoy working with Anuj, And if he likes working with you, tomorrow wherever he goes, you know for a fact that your entire career is set, right? That is a choice whether you want to or you don't want to, but that is the relationship a mentor mentee has, right? And there are different ways to do this. Now there are many people who don't get a chance to work with someone like that early in their career, right? So at that point of time, can we build a curated path to this, right, where now that you guys are assigned a mentor, and there are different ways to do it, this is our way of doing it. You have 3 sessions built in with that mentor. Have multiple of these, right? Imagine if you can catch up with 5 such mentors. Idea is to build long-term relationship, right? It's not transactional, just one session. At the same time, among all 5, depends on how many ever ally sessions you end up doing. From this, I know you will for sure, there's a curated platform, right? We are picking and choosing mentors. It's not available to everyone. So that said, if you can build rapport with 2 3 mentors, that is the relationship. That is, so think of it from a relationship point of view. We are doing our best to create a path for you to do it. Now there's accountability on both sides, right? If it was just another session, there are hundreds, and we've done beta tests of this in the past where we've just connected mentors and mentees. There are accountability issues. There are people who don't come prepared for it. And with you having some skin in the game now, with mentors having some skin in the game, it is just a platform between both of you. We're just facilitating this. We are enablers. So that is our thought process to mentorship. This is our attempt of building a product to facilitate this. And as always, as all our products, right from Insurjo, which is a learning enablement, to Ally, which is mentorship enablement at scale, to the jobs platform to help opportunities at scale. We are trying to be the enablers in this ecosystem, starting with product management, right? So that is a very important point I wanted to share with everyone. You can compare it to different platforms out there. You can have questions on, hey, how do we build accountability, how do we have skin in the game. We'd love to brainstorm with you on that, as well as the feedback you had on Insurgent. But just wanted everyone to come in with our version, like why exactly are we building Ally in the way we are doing it, right? And that's the name. Ally is essentially someone who's going to be there with you in your journey. It is not getting over right in those 3 sessions, right? 3 sessions is a starting point. One session becomes transactional. 3 sessions is where we feel, hey, this is great. Maybe with your feedback, we'll increase it to 5. We'll reduce it to 2. I don't think we'll reduce it from 3, but maybe with your feedback, we will iterate from here. But yeah, just wanted to share that. I know it was a monologue, but hope that helps you understand how you can use the platform in the best way.
Yeah.
Adi,
So
Yeah,
Ally
it's a,
is a paid platform. So I see quite a few questions around it. So it is a paid
all of that is
platform.
actually
So
covered in the FAQs, right, Chitra? I think there is a FAQ
yeah,
sheet on top.
it
If
is.
you'll have any
Yeah,
questions on top of
yeah.
that, happy to take any of those.
yeah.
Right? Any other question, Chaitra, that you see is not part of the FAQ?
Not a question though, but in case, not in case, but if you book a session with your mentors, please do share a picture with your mentors and post it on your socials. And do not share the link yet until we go until we launch it to the public. You can just share it and share your experience with Ally, with your mentor, with how the platform was and everything. So yeah, that's about it.
Fair enough.
Absolutely.
If Danlili and Shamita are around, do bring them on stage. We'll probably bring you back in the next session as well. But Chaitra, thanks so much for doing this. I think exciting days ahead. Again, folks, if you'll have feedback, Chaitra is super active on our Slack. Chaitra, if you can drop, your your Slack username on the chat, folks can ping you directly.
Yep.
And if you'll have any feedback, any questions around that, feel free to reach out. Don't bombard her. Give her some time to reply, and you can message any of us, but she will be able to help you with most things around Ally.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Chetra.
Thank you
We
so
will
much.
catch up
Thank you.
with you once
Thank you.
again. But Adi, I'd love for
Thanks.
you to stick
Thanks,
around.
Chitra. Yeah. Also, I
Couple of
was just
questions.
about to share that Ally sits in very complementary with what we are doing with Insurjo and Learn PM with me and all the other courses, right? So you learn here, and for your specific questions and for specific guidance, you go on to Ally for mentorship. And like Swaz shared, be a little more high agency there, come prepared, know what you want to ask, and then seek feedback, right? Because that's how relationships get built. So think of this as a platform to build relationships for your career. And these are super senior folks, so you wouldn't be able to do it so easily otherwise. So this is really enabling that connection, that relationship. So good luck, and we definitely want to hear all the feedback that we can onto making this platform better.
Any questions around Insurjo in general? In around Adi, do we have anything else for this? I think we covered Ally, we covered 10-day PM challenge, the two
Yeah.
small Twitter and YouTube challenges that we have. What's the number at, by the way, folks? If you all can help us with the latest numbers, we will. Let's try getting it. No, I think it'll be interesting to get those people on the
Super
same platform.
interesting.
Those
Yeah,
are three
yeah.
things. Anything
We
else
have
that?
offline meetups as well. We spoke about it in the beginning of the session. But folks, we have several community meetups coming up in different parts of the country. The links will be in the chat. Yeah, you can see it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's pinned as well. So you can check it out for Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Jaipur, Mumbai, Pune, all of these cities. Go check out those links if you are in one of these cities. If you want to organize a community meetup in your city, in Search or Grab Chai channel would be the best way to do that. We of course support all of that. If you are in the same city, we'll try coming on to the meetup as well. But this is super heartening to see so many meetups and hundreds of people coming in together and just having a fun time catching up with each other. So do check it out. We are again just recalling the cities, 8 different cities. All of it is pinned in the chat here, and definitely go there if you can, and do share pictures with us as well.
I think I'm getting some interesting feedback. I'm just bringing that up for you to see on the stage. I think I'm running out of people. Thanks so much for the feedback, folks. It just feels amazing to hear your feedback. Um, any other questions? Happy to take that up. Are there any questions that you think we missed?
I think we pretty much covered all of it, but if there's anything else, please do bump it up in the chat, and seeing a lot of good feedback from for Ally. So Chaitra, if you're still on, do check out the chat. You'll be love the simplicity of the UI. Looks fire. Absolutely agree. And even the video, when we saw it for the first time, we loved it, and I hope you like the video too. I'm just writing lot of job opportunity we might get in a life. For jobs, we have like a jobs platform. Just go onto our website. You'll find all the top jobs there. For in search of folks, we'll enable opportunities as well towards the end of the cohort. But Ally is meant for mentorship. We'll keep it that way for the platform, but we also have jobs as a separate platform on the website. Time limit for Ally for one-on-one sessions. Yes, there are. You'll see everything on
On
the
the
platform.
It's
Yeah,
actually covered all on the FAQs.
covered.
We'll
Yeah,
go through that. Um,
exactly.
we will share a link to the entire thing. Something on volunteering, folks. As soon as you get done with Insurjo, we want you all to focus on building your portfolios, on going through all the sessions. So that's exactly why we'd love for you to be volunteers. Honestly, we're all 100% driven by this. So we will be reaching out to you. There's a form we had shared. We've got a couple of responses. If you're excited to volunteer with TPF, do fill that up right after Insurjo gets done, because we want you all to go through this smoothly and then pick up volunteering. So yeah, some of you all will be part of the team. We're looking forward to that as well. In fact, if you do win the 10-day PM challenge, which many of you all have started winning, right, week on week, you are part of an exclusive group with the core team at TPF. So we've already started sharing some exclusive stuff there. This could be early access to some things. This could be some interesting coupons and codes, some interesting reads. We will also have behind the session stories, and imagine if you could get on a call with some of your dream mentors, right? So stuff like that is exclusive for only the winners of the 10-day PM challenge. So apart from some of y'all will get access to premium stuff, but yeah, lots more that is in store for y'all that we haven't revealed. So do participate in the 10-day PM challenge. Do help us with the tiny challenges that we had on Twitter and YouTube today. We will try bringing back these speakers. Check out the Ally platform, share feedback with us. Do let us know how your mentorship sessions go. We'll only get better from here, I promise. Anything else, Adi? These are top three things for this week. Case study, right? Many of
Yeah.
them have. If you have any questions around the case study, every Sunday and every Thursday we have breakdown sessions. So on Sunday, you can join in to the live session. Right after the live session, we have a senior PM, a group PM, a director PM joining in from the company that the case is actually. It's all real world case study. The one you did with Jupiter, you had Abhisha from there. The one you did with Dunzo, you had Riti. This week we're going to be launching another one tomorrow, and that'll be a third and last case study. So do check that out. On Sunday we will have Brijesh, who's their head of product, director of product, joining us. And also the session with Taruna is an interesting one, right? Lots of us need to improve our communication skills, storytelling, working with stakeholders. It's not just the hard skills, it is also the soft skills that matter. Anuj also mentioned that right on this session. So don't miss that. I think it's going to be an interesting Sunday. Tomorrow the case will be revealed. So hopefully most of you all have already submitted your cases. We will also reveal the winners for the case. I know we had to reveal one this week, but give us some more time. I think cases take a longer time to go through. So we are still going through the cases. We had tons of submissions. So if you have missed those cases, you can still complete it and put it on your portfolio, because at the end of Insurjo, we will be, I think the last session is on the 18th. Maybe a week from then is where we will be circulating a form on the Slack, where we will be collecting your personal information, your portfolio, your resume, and your 10-day PM links, right? So all that will be collected in one form. And from that, if you want certificates, we will enable certificates. But honestly, I think there are other things that are lined up for everyone who finishes that, right? Maybe again, access to a bunch of things. If you do win the 10-day PM challenge, yes, then you get access to this exclusive group. There are some of you who are already part of the exclusive group, so do let us know in the chat section if you have already started finding some value. We will. Okay, Vajia wants merchandise. We will
Much
be sending it
this
to us.
one,
Ayush, yeah.
both of us
Merch,
are,
by the way, TPH
yeah,
merch, not TPF
yeah.
merch. So if you are interested, follow the product.house. Do you have a handle link handy? If any of you are
Zero
interested
X
in
TPH.
Web3, we'll share a link with you. This is OX or 0x TPH. We have a couple of giveaways. In fact, there are domain giveaways, ENS giveaways, merch giveaways there as well. So check it out. Adi's highlighted the link here. We have the volunteer form, the feedback form pinned here. Last 5 minutes before we break into the lounge. It's been a long session, but some of you all were sharing Insurjo related feedback and how we can probably bring a premium layer. Adi and me are super excited to enable that for the upcoming cohorts. If you have any thoughts around that, feel free to share it on chat. Feel free to hang out in the lounge post this. We'd love that, right? So Ayushvi, yes, there is a Discord for our Web3, just like
Web3,
how we
yeah.
have a Slack for our Web2 community. Do check that out. Davinder
We'll
says he
find the
will share
link
it.
on the website. Yeah.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. We have also started thinking if we can. I understand, I think, especially for most of our active members, the whole idea of doing the exclusive group was actually to test that out. Of course, non monetary, but add more value than we already are. So, how do we differentiate between those who want to probably, some of them are busy for this, right? And they want to just audit it. We're completely okay with that. The whole idea of starting something like Insurjo was to ensure that there is education that's available, quality education for product management that is available for people to build at scale, right? That's the only way we can have global products coming out from India. If you guys have direct access to learn from people like Lenny, like Anuj, that is when India will start seeing products that go global, right? And that is the goal that we have. Of course, if that means we need to create a premium layer, we're open to that. Whatever you think adds more value, we will always have the audit clear. I think the ethos with which TPS started is never going to change. But obviously, if there is a way we can add more value to a certain sect, a certain, now the community is large, right? So just like Anuj said, we need to start thinking of cohort of members who we want to really double down and help them become amazing product leaders. One of the reasons people like Anuj come back to us and do these sessions year on year is exactly for reasons like this, right? So yeah, that is the motive, that is the ethos with which we run, and that is what keeps us going, right? The feedback that you guys give us. Imagine waking up daily to a message saying that, Insurjo helped me transition into a job, right? We get this from people, even those who have participated last year. Till date we get that, right? So those are the things that keep us going. Honestly, everything else is just a byproduct. We've been doing this for 3.5 years now, and we're nowhere close to stop, right? I think every single day, just like I think it is our first or second product, in fact, we've launched, and we have a bunch more in line. um, so it's to the moon from here, like Adi said. uh, But yes, with your feedback, it only helps us. Like we try closing that loop and try actually providing things that is valuable to you all. Right? So yes, let us know. Any questions, anything that you'd like to add, Adi, to this? Anything that we haven't picked up, or we can move to the lounge?
No, this is perfect. You summed it up pretty well, and I think we spoke about this in one of the previous sessions as well. That people who tend to attend all of these sessions, people who do assignments, case studies, be active throughout the journey of this cohort, tend to do much better in general when it comes to jobs, opportunities, and yeah, last time we had an assessment to literally quantifiable, right? So do make that additional effort. Do take that additional push. We know these are sessions happening on weekends. This is literally a Friday night when we are doing this, and what an amazing one at that. So we are putting in our 1,000% from our end. We definitely hope that you bring in that much from your side as well, and together we want to grow together. So, I shared the ethos of the community is to become that enabler, be that launchpad for many product leaders to come in the decades in the country, and we are just playing a small part in it. So thanks so much again for joining in the session and being so kind with your words in the chat section. And Anuj personally had a great time as well. And we'll collate all of this feedback and send it to him. But don't forget about the two things that we need to do. Go to our Twitter, RT the pin tweet, so that we can try and bring in Anuj. Who are the folks? Suhas, Anuj, Reyas, and Sidhu. And on
Anyone else?
YouTube, it's
Who would you like to see, Adi?
being the fourth person. I think we have a wish list with us, but I want the community to pick people.
Yeah,
And
folks, let us
Anuj,
know
Reyas,
in the chat
please.
section, or maybe
Yeah.
whenever you're putting your thread out there. Let us know. Tag the people that we mentioned, so that at least when we reach out to them, it's not out of the blue. Um, Nirmal says Manas Adi.
Manas, I was just chatting with him today morning, and
Yeah.
we can probably
Manas
do
is a
an
mentor
informal
also.
session. He's a
Yeah.
mentor to us and a
We
support,
can we
serious
can
support of
uh,
the
we, we
community.
can bring we can try bringing Manas at least to the Insurjo exclusive group, right? The winners of
Exclusive group.
interview. Yeah, I think that is
Yeah, yeah.
something you might be open to. No?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So we have those who don't know, he did one small. He combined a small group of people and created a small course called Aristos, and it's a
Yes.
small little group where he keeps sharing
Don't
nuggets,
give away the
knowledge.
secrets on the live, Adi. You save it for the exclusive. Go share it there tonight. I think they will love it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And you should definitely. So the reason why I brought it up is because if we bring Manas onto the group, it is going to become like a pot full of knowledge and tons of insights coming in. We'll definitely bring him on board there. Apart from that, anyone else, please drop in the chat. But you know what to do. Go to our YouTube stream, like that video so that we can hit 2,000 likes, and then that video stays on live forever. We won't take it down. And for Twitter, you know what to do. Go and RTR pin tweet on the TPF handle, and we'll bring in some amazing people to probably the next Insurjo or maybe sometime later this year.
Adi, I think someone did mention. I think Mohammed mentions that hey, we are not discussing anything after the video was placed. Please, can we stop beating around the bush? So, folks, sorry about that. It is something that we love. I think Adi and me and enjoy like just chatting with the community. I think we look forward to this, right? Honestly, I think we've been building this
Absolutely.
community. This is how we're different. Unfortunately, I know it's pretty late in India, so the meat of the session is definitely done. So if you need to hop off, do even we'll be hopping off in 5 minutes. But yeah, I think we enjoy chatting with you also. If you do enjoy it as well, feel free to hang out in the lounge. Someone did mention. I think yeah. We forgot to mention, but yeah, the meat of the session is done. Most of the important announcements are done. We just like hanging around. We just love hanging around for like 5-10 minutes post this and chatting with you all. I think that's what we look forward to. So sorry about that, but yeah, just wanted we should have mentioned that a little earlier. Right. Um,
But
Adi, there
yeah,
were
pretty
questions.
much at the end. But
Yeah.
yeah, let's take any questions if you have.
Uh, Yeah, folks, just 5 minutes. We'll probably take some questions. I just saw the Q&A tab. I was looking at the chat so far, but on the Q&A tab, there were a couple of questions regarding Insurjo. Um, I think it's easier when everyone's live. Um, there is a question around Ally. Is there a maximum time per session? I think we mentioned 60 minutes per session,
Yeah.
and there was another question on. They haven't been able to complete case studies so far, but they can still catch up, right? Is that
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
so? These
And a
were
new case study is also coming
coming up
up.
tomorrow.
So yeah.
So I think interesting case studies this time. I think tomorrow's company also very, very. Do you want a hint into the next case study? Yeah, I won't reveal it. I'll wait for it tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, it's very interesting for young folks who've joined in because it's a product that is built for many of them. Someone asked, "Is Ally built using Notion?" No, it's not. It's not using Notion, but another tool. Try figuring out which tool that is. Um, Someone says, "Hey, our last session with you is coming up. I'm crying in the corner." Me too. But like they say, all good things need to come to an end. But the journey
Yeah.
doesn't stop, right? Journey doesn't stop here. Once you build your portfolios, I think from learning, you will be graduating into opportunities. Next week, in fact, we will be sharing with you the graduation criteria as well. Most of it is something we've already revealed, but we have a checklist that you need to cover. Um, and that is something you'll have to complete within this month itself, right? So these were some questions that I thought good to take that since we
Yeah,
have
yeah,
time.
absolutely.
uh, Someone asked, hey, can you tie up with a dating app? We'll have to, we should do that in the
Actually,
teardown, right?
Grab Chai is a pseudo. It's a good way to catch up with folks.
Yeah. So folks, hope you enjoyed this. We will also, can we get all TPF volunteers on stage? Unfortunately, Airmeet has a limit on the number of
Limit.
people, and we shared with you in the kickoff the number of people who have put effort into making this happen. We wanted to do that. In fact, last year's finale session also, we tried bringing up people on stage towards the end, but I think there was a limit to the number of people who can come in. Do let us know your most favorite volunteers. We'll try and bring those people in, but with all honesty, there are lots of people working behind the scenes, right? Many
Yeah,
people
this
who you
is
don't
yeah.
get to interact day in day out. But yeah, I'm like very happy that you guys are enjoying the sessions. um, we will definitely catch up. Couple of more sessions. I think we have the CPO of Misho joining us. So that should be a very interesting session. He's going to be talking about how do you build careers and how do you work in hyper growth startups, right? So that is, come prepared for that one. I think Taruna's session, I've had a sneak peek at it. She comes with a non-technical background, by the way. So folks, whoever here is joining in thinking that, hey, um, we will there are many of y'all who ask us this, right? So that session, she's been able to break into companies like Swiggy and LinkedIn, which are dream
Yeah.
careers for a lot of people, and with a lot
Also
of
at
hard
a growth stage, when Swiggy
work.
was growing and she
Exactly.
led some incredible products. So we'll hear a lot
Exactly.
about that as well. And on LinkedIn as well, she's leading an interesting chatter.
Yep.
So we should be able to get tons of insights from Taruna.
Yep. Um, with that, Adi, I think time for us to tune
Let's.
out. Do you see any
Yeah.
questions that, in fact, someone asked, hey, who's going to come for the graduation ceremony? We have an author of a very famous book and a term that has been coined. We will reveal that again next
Yeah.
week. But with that, Adi, any closing
Let's
thoughts? We
sign
will
off.
be signing off for today.
Yeah, what a Friday evening, man. Love the session, love the Q&A, love the post-session banter that we do usually. Uh, Amazing Friday evening. Couldn't have asked for anything more. I hope you folks enjoyed it as well, and perfect way to start the weekend. We have an action-packed weekend as well, but personally enjoyed so much hosting Anuj and then all the Q&As and all the insights that we got. Loved the session.
Adi, can I ask you a non-product question? I got this on my messages, not on the chat.
Yeah.
But Adi is so young and he's already invested in a couple of startups. How did you make that happen, Adi? I know this wasn't, but I thought that was interesting,
Wow.
dude. I think we should do a separate session with you post Insurjo on maybe. I think one of the we started off with a workshop on Notion, right? That was on portfolio building. Maybe this one we can do on either third door, right? The third door of
Yeah.
actually getting a foot into the door into these PM carriers. That could be an interesting one. Or another one for you would be, yeah, I think that would be the best
I
one.
think
I know there are
we
a lot of
did
people that
one in the previous Insurjo and it was amazing.
Yeah.
And
So, folks,
but
Adi, OP in the
yes.
chat if you want one more bonus workshop. He has this interesting theory on breaking into PM via the third door. And that deck, I know I've seen you do it. But, yeah,
TPFOP. Let's make it
no.
TPFOP.
Adi OP in the chat. Because there are a lot. Yeah, yeah. I was just bringing that up because I saw it in my messages. But with that, folks, it is us tuning out. We will see you folks next wait room session. Yeah, in fact, yeah, we can do that. Guys, join in the community huddle. Let's
Yeah,
bring Adi on next Thursday, right? If
let's
you
do that.
haven't, right, if you haven't joined in the community huddles, it is essentially this, but in a different setup. It happens
Setup.
every
Yeah,
Thursday, and next week will be our last community huddle for Insurjo. It's not a last community huddle, but last
yeah,
community huddle for Insurjo. So do tune in. It's exactly like this, where you come up on stage, you can ask questions. We try our best to help you navigate career decisions. We help you brainstorm around products you're building. It's fun. I think we've gotten great feedback so far.
yeah.
So
And with so much love that community huddles get, I think we should continue doing this beyond Insurjo as well, probably just to keep in touch with the community uh, and
I
answer
think
anything
Thursday,
that you
Friday,
need.
Saturday, Sunday, yours are blocked. How many more weeks do you? Uh,
No, beyond Insurjo. I mean, beyond Insurjo.
beyond,
After Insurjo ends,
we should.
probably, yeah,
We should.
once in a month maybe, just to catch up with the community. And it's always fun to fun to get so many people together and chat with them.
True, true. With that, folks, I think it is Adi and me and the entire TPF team signing off for this week. You have a rest day tomorrow, but do get started with your cases that will land in your inboxes tomorrow. Day after, do come in on the live session. Don't miss that. Don't miss asking your question. It is super important for you to come clear your doubts. That's how you'll be able to solve the case study in the best way. And next week we have a couple of more sessions, community huddles, taverns, and grab chat. Right. So enjoy the rest of your evening or late night in India. We will be hanging around in the lounge in case you all want to join it. And with that, see you around.